Hi, my friends. Welcome in. I'm Julie Maxon, the main stamper. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'm here for your totally awesome card class. It is Monday night. It's 8 o'clock here on the East Coast, and it's time for our live weekly card class. Now, this one is going to be totally awesome, and that's really the name of the bundle that I'm using. I'm not making up funny names. Totally Awesome is a new bundle that Stampin' Up! Has in their annual catalog. So it's really been out for about a month now. You may have seen quite a few cards with it. It's kind of quirky, comical, funny little turtles. There are a few of them in the stamp set. And a lot of the cards that I'm looking at when I'm looking for some inspiration, whether it's other Facebook groups or Pinterest or just Googling pictures of totally awesome cards, a lot of people are using the designer series paper, and the designer series paper is really cute and it is an easy way to make cards. But I'm all about the stamping and the coloring and using your products more so than just the paper. I feel like the paper is part of the card, but I don't always like to make the paper the design, if that makes sense. So that's my little intro on Totally Awesome. I am a couple minutes late because of the tech, I guess. It's going to be my excuse for life. But anyway, if you can see and hear me, please let me know that we are good. Because I'd hate to do a whole video and then find out that you couldn't see or hear me. That would be awful. And I don't do video. I used to do back in the day videos where I would record them and then I would edit them, and I would spend so much time editing videos that it just was awful to like have to edit videos. Hi, Patty. Okay, Patty says we're good. So there we go. Thank you, Patty, for letting me know that it's awesome, totally awesome. And if you have the totally awesome stamp set or the bundle, I would love to know. We're going to talk a little bit about the sweets. The sweet sale is coming to a close. There is only another week left. A week from today, the sweet sale is ending. So we're going to talk a little bit about the sweet sale. I'm just going to do really two quick announcements. The first one, and these are courtesy of Sandra, so thank you, Sandra, for reminding me to remind everyone else. Postage stamps are going up on July 13th, so please purchase postage stamps at your USPS store or office or location. Grab those stamps and get them while you can. The forever stamps are always going to work for your cards, whether you buy them now and pay less or you buy them on July 14th and pay more. So don't forget, postage stamps are going up. It's important when we're mailing our cards to be able to do so at a better cost, right? So postage stamps, make sure you're getting yours before July 13th. Okay, second announcement, Sandra said, hey, guess what? There's some really good deals on the last chance list. And if you're looking at anything like that was a bundle, and check out the sale prices, because a lot of times the stamp itself individually and the dies individually are way less than the savings for the bundle. Hi, Julie. So Sandra was pointing out a really amazing bundle, and actually it's one that I didn't get, so I'm thinking about maybe going back and getting it again. It was the To Market bundle, and she's awesome like that. Craft Math. Okay, so the To Market, for example, the dies are $5 instead of $21. The stamp set is $16, so you get both of them for, oh wait, 21 instead of 40. I'm not sure what the craft math is on that. I might have to reread that. But anyway, check out the last chance sale if you haven't done so yet, because there are some really good. Hi, Sandra Johnson. It's good to see you on here. I was just talking about your craft math and the awesome deals when you unbundle and get a really good sale. All right, we're going to get over to my workspace because this is going to be a totally awesome class, and I can't wait to share it with you. So let me get my camera over there, and it's a warm one today, right? I guess you guys are probably just as warm as me. Please continue to say hi as you jump on. We're going to get going into our class tonight as soon as I can get my, my screen back up to where I need to see it. All right, I got the AC running, so that's the good news. Turtley Sweet Collection. It's turtley cute, actually. It's on page 48 and 49 of your annual catalog, and then they've got a page 50 and 51 spread, so you can see a couple more pages. So it's got a pretty big layout in the catalog, and there's lots of samples, and this is what a suite is. So the suite is a single number with a higher amount because you're getting all of the things. You're getting the bundle, you're getting the embossing folder, the embellishments, the ribbon, and the paper. So that's what a suite is. Now, suites are BOGO during the month of June. So you could get this suite and then purchase another suite, and whichever suite is less money
you'll get one for half price. And because all of the individual suite products are also on sale, if you were to BOGO the paper, if you wanted to get 2 packs of paper, you would get 1 pack at the full price, and the second pack would be half price. So depending on what you're shopping for, sometimes you can get a good deal on suites. Maybe you're just looking at bundles that are in suites. Maybe you're just looking at paper or embellishments. It's all BOGO, and it's for 1 more week. So this also really great ideas here on ways that you can use these products. And I'm going to show you the actual suite itself right here too. So we've got the bundle, which we're using tonight. We're using a Totally Awesome stamp set. We've got 3 turtles. Now these are smaller, 80% sized than the actual stamps themselves. So sometimes when you look at the case, you think, oh, they're kind of small, but they are a little bit bigger, and you'll see that as we stamp them. There's 3 turtles. My card classes include 4 cards, so one of these turtles gets double duty. So you're going to have to wait and see which one gets double duty, because it's not going to be until the end. I'm going to share that with you. This has some really cute, punny sentiments. We've got Hope Your Birthday is Totally Awesome. And then the rest of them aren't punny, but they're really nice ones too. We've got Hooray, Here for You Always, It's Okay to Take It Slow, which includes our turtles, right? And then Sweet Friend. We've got a microphone and music notes. We've got 2 really cute birds, ice cream cone, flower, birthday cake, party hat, and a balloon. But there's more, I mean, there's more to this than that as well. Turtle Textures embossing folder is a pretty popular one. That's part of the suite, or you can get it as a BOGO. These are the dies. We're going to talk about the dies a little bit here for a second. I am using the dies on this magnet sheet because I pulled them off. So you can see our turtles. And does anyone else see Rock'em Sock'em robots here when I hold up these 2 turtles? You may never look at these again the same way. These are, I think we could do Rock'em Sock'em robot cards. We need a blue guy and a red guy, because I'm pretty sure these would be Azure Afternoon, probably in real red, and we could get that that little boxing ring going. It's going to take you back a bit. So you've got your 3 turtle cutouts, and I'm using the cake, the ice cream, and the birds today. This one is a balloon, but my favorite thing about this set, it's really kind of cute because it's also a banjo. So picture this part right here over top of your balloon. Now you've got the bottom part of your banjo. You've got a circle here to go into your banjo, right? So we've got the microphone. I shouldn't think ahead. Microphone. There's a microphone here. There is some cooking involved. Maybe that's where I was going. Haven't had dinner yet. And music notes. So you can do the banjo with the microphone and the music notes. Now let's talk about food, because I'm always about food. So speaking of food, with this set, this is kind of a fun set because you can kind of make your turtles dressed up, right? So you've got a little chef hat here and an apron, and the apron is really awesome, totally awesome, because it's actually going to tuck into our turtle. I'm going to talk about how that tucks. We have a watering can. We have the outline for the flower and the party hat. And then we have a couple of other hats that would go together. So there's quite a few different dies in here, more so than just imagery, which is a lot of fun, right? So that's totally awesome. I think you'll agree. And then part of the suite is the embellishments. So I'm going to use these embellishments on all of my cards. Here's what's interesting about these, and I didn't really know it until I started playing with it. These look like they're just sequins to me. Like looking down at them, they have the appearance of a sequin, but they're actually solid. They're actually kind of raised gems. So they're very solid, and they have a little bit of height to them. But they are really cool. And they're in these kind of green tone colors, right? They go with our turtle cards, but they go with a lot more. I'm not doing some of my cards are going to be non-traditional today. I hope you guys don't mind. I like to play with color. This is the ribbon that's in the suite, so it is 2-tone ribbon. So you can see the shaded spruce on one side, and I believe this is soft sea foam on the other side, and it is. That's excellent. Totally excellent here. And then we're going to talk about the designer paper real quick. Now, you may have seen this designer series paper in tons of cards, because a lot of people are just kind of trimming these images out and using them on card fronts, which you could totally do if you wanted to, right? So I am more of a fan of the B side. So we've got the stripes. I've used this paper on a few different card kits in the last month, and I love it. Here's our band playing turtles. On the opposite side here, we have turtle shell, tortoise perhaps. Now these ones I think I love the one on the bike. So I get the appeal of cutting them out, using them on cards, really cute. And then we've got, again, a B side. These are my favorite sides, is the B side. Now, these ones are funny because we've got the spa turtles, we've got the beach turtles, the barbecue turtles, right? So you got the Sandcastle Beach Ball. This is very pretty stripies for birthday cards and whatnot. Speaking of birthdays, we have some balloons and some cakes, and we've got our little chef turtle here on this paper. On the opposite side, you've got crushed curry with music notes. So this is kind of would be useful for all kinds of stuff. Then we've got a paper that would probably be something you would cut out and then use as scenery for your turtles. And on the opposite side of that, we've got some fun dots as well. So again, my class is going to be a little bit different from turtly awesome cutouts on designer series paper. So let's talk a little bit about my turtly awesome class. This week with your $50 order, you're getting 4 card kits with the envelopes, and you're getting your emailed card recipes. You also are earning 10% in your Stampin Rewards good on a future purchase. This offer is good June 21st, which is a couple days ago actually. And I go right through Friday. I cut card kits on the weekend. If you ordered with me last week, your card kits are in the mail as of today. So that's exciting news. Your card recipes will follow this week. The Totally Awesome Bundle, which was in the catalog I showed you, $165,229, $43. It's not an expensive bundle, which is nice. The suite itself is $165,235. If you want all the things, it's $80.50. Now here's your card kit. So I want you to look to see that this is totally awesome, and it's always not about turtles, right? We've got some different colors here with some different die cuts. This one's a little bit more neutral. This is going to be a great masculine card, by the way. We got some nice neutral colors there. This one is kind of a fun fold-ish, so it's got some yellow and green in it. And then we've got one in peacock with a lot of, I love this stripy paper, lots of black and white here. You're getting some more dies as well. So this is your card class for tonight. I'm going to put these back in the order we're going to work on, because we're going to start out with a card that is so untraditional in color that you're going to be like, wait a minute, hi, what? What are we doing with this one? All right, let me set some things aside here. I'm just going to peek to see who's hanging out with me. I've got Michelle has joined. Hi, Michelle. I hope you're doing good. Thanks for joining us for this totally awesome class. All right, I'm going to set this aside. We are going to work on card number 1. So all of these things that I'm showing you right now is what's going to come in your card kit. You're going to get your envelope, and you're going to get your card base. Your card base will not be scored in half. You get to do that at home, but I do it ahead of time for the class, so I'm not scoring it as well. You've got some white cardstock you're going to stamp on. You're getting these textured notes die cuts. Now this one is probably hard to see that it is die cut with the textured notes, so this is actually kind of a rougher side, but I did grab those textured notes dies, my new favorites. So this one's a die cut. This one's a die cut, and then this little one right here is this die cut. So you're getting some die cuts from there. You're also getting an embossed piece in this kit. You're getting this one right here, which is from the Glass and Gardens embossing folders. It's got kind of an interesting little tortoise shell pattern. We're going to pretend, right? Tortoise shell pattern here, something a little different. So that's going to come to you embossed. That's the petunia pop, and then we've got some shaded spruce here as well. So this is what's your card kit, and you're like, what are we making with this card kit, Julie? Well, first of all, I'm going to grab out some blends. We're going to stay in this color family. We've got Bubble Bath, Petunia Pop, and Shaded Spruce. So you're going to need some blends because we're going to do some blending. You're going to need ink pads, Petunia Pop, and Bubble Bath. And you're going to need Memento. So we're going to do our blends with our Memento ink. And let me grab the card so you can see what we're making. So we're going to get busy on card number 1. This is our Hooray card. So you can see I have a very non-traditional pink and green turtle. And we've got some really fun colors here. Now, when I teased a little bit in the words for this video, I said you can swap out the turtle theme if turtles are not your thing. But so you could put another item here instead of the turtle. But this card kit, I don't think it looks like it would be absolutely turtles or bust, right? So there we go. All right, just Barbara popped in. Hi, Barbara. All right, let's start with the bones of the kit. So kind of like the parts and pieces that you're getting here. And let's put some of this together. We're going to start with some sponging because it's one of my favorite things to do. Some inking it up. I like to make my layers look a little bit different one from the next because I do use a lot of the same cardstock color. So we're going to start with Petunia Pop. And we're going to come in here, and I'm actually going to rotate my paper this way because I'm going to show you the method to my madness. So we're going to just kind of heavily go this way, and I'm kind of avoiding the embossed section where it tapers off. So it's heavier on, as you can see here, hopefully, the right side, bottom and top. So I'm going to kind of just come like this, and I'm making kind of a really rough letter C. So I'm kind of coming from the top and around, but I'm going to leave, I'm going to flip it back over because this is the way I want it to go on my card. But I'm going to leave this right edge, once you've flipped it, I'm going to leave this uninked or unsponged, okay? So that's that part right there. Ooh, let's do some more inking while we're having fun. This is the bubble bath. So I'm going to bring in my bubble bath blend, and we're going to doctor this up a little bit and make this a little bit darker too. So we're going to just grab some ink off of here, and I'm going to just do all four corners and edges, I should say, all four edges, top, bottom, right, left, all of the things. I like to rotate my paper. I just use little scraps of paper a lot of time because it just fits my space here. So I rotate my paper instead of the cardstock. It just makes it easier. All right, so you can see that I left some white space or bubble bath space right in the middle, right? So it's a little bit lighter in the middle, but we're not going to leave it that way because we like to add ink. So we're going to put bubble bath away. I think we're done with bubble bath. We're going to bring in Petunia Pop. So we still have our Petunia Pop here, and I'm not sure if there's enough on here from the last blending. So I'm just going to try to start here in the middle and spread some around, and I can see that I need more, but probably not that much more. So we're just going to tap a little bit off, and I'm just going to put a little bit here in the middle. And I'm getting kind of like really pretty colors here, right? So we've got the Petunia in the middle, and we still have some spots that are original bubble bath cardstock. So we're getting those whiter, lighter spots, and it's just giving us this really pretty pink aura, right? I love it. Okay, so there is our inking. I think we have inked. Let me get rid of my scrap paper. We're going to be playing with that some more, and let's put some of this together here. I bring my card kit back in so you can see it. We're going to start with some of our base pieces. And because this designer series paper is such a nice shade of shaded spruce, I am actually bringing in just a little strip of shaded spruce cardstock, just so that when I pop this green onto my card base, it doesn't look foreign or out of place. So I'm going to put this little strip right here on the left-hand side, and I'm leaving a little bit of matte on this edge. And then we're going to take in this, oh look how cute is a bee. Cute as can be. Cute as can be. This is the designer series paper. It's an online item, but we're using the pink and purple with the hearts, and we're going to put this over here on the right side. Again, we're going to leave that little edge along here. We're pretending we're just matting that really nicely. These two pieces are the same height, but don't stress over like if they're evenly across. Okay, I think if you line them up pretty much top and bottom, you should be good to go. All right, so there are those two pieces. Now we're going to bring in this beautiful piece of Petunia that we sponged quite heavily, and we're going to add some adhesive onto this. And this is going to bridge the distance. It's going to cover that middle section right there, but I want it to be more on the green, so I'm covering up a little bit more of the green than the designer series paper. And this piece right here that is embossed with the Glass and Gardens embossing folder that we put extra ink on is 1/4 of an inch taller than our shaded spruce in this DSP. So it's going to come up just a little bit. And the varying heights are what's going to add interest. If everything was the same all the way across, it would just look really blocky. But by changing the height of some of your paper, you can create really good visual interest. So that is one of my designer tips. Now we're going to put these two pieces together. Our designer series paper is die cut with the textured notes dies, even though it's probably invisible on camera, because it really is. Those little grooves go into the sides here, and because the designer paper is busy, you can't really see it, but it is die cut. When you have it at home, you're going to see that it's die cut. And oh no, I forgot to get out more dimensionals. That makes me sad. Wonder if I can find some really quickly without losing my microphone. Let's see. Hold please. We're going to take a tour in the craft room. I am hoping I can find dimensionals. Yes. I'm hoping these are the right size. Yes. Okay, good. Okay, I'm back. Did you guys miss me? Haha. All right, so I need to open a new pack of dimensionals because I really only have a few edges left on the ones in my case. So here we go. Look at that. I bet I could use this entire thing in one night. do love some dimensionals. All right, so we're going to flip this over now, and we're going to put some dimensionals on this little designer series paper and our bubble bath pretty paper. And you can see here that there are some turtles on the back side. They are totally awesome, but I'm focusing on different things for my cards today. All right, so this is going to come right here, kind of in the middle. Let's go with in the middle. So we can still see our embossing, and we can still see those cute little heart patterns on that designer series paper. And how cute is this already, right? This could be a flower card or a butterfly card. It could be a birthday balloon or a cupcake card. It could be a ladybug card. I'm trying to think of different things that you might want to use this for, just in case you don't want to make turtles. Okay, so there are options when you get these card kits at home. Wow, I really got some ink on my finger. Please don't think that, oh my gosh, I don't have my little wipies either. I am having a day. This is always a good thing on a Monday, right? I try to get it out of the way for the whole week. And so we're just going to ignore the ink on my fingers. Hopefully I don't make too many more messes. All right, so you have some designer series. You have some cardstock here. I need to think. This is our turtle. We're going to stamp the turtle in Memento ink because we're going to color him with some blends. And I'm going to set this guy aside over here. There's never enough room as we get going. I just had a genius idea. I'm going to clean my hand up with my chamois a little bit. At least it'll get the heavier ink off of it. Okay, there we go. Chamois to the rescue. All right, now on this other piece of designer series paper, we're going to do our balloons, which also kind of look like lollipops to me. So you're going to stamp 2 of them on here. You're going to have room, depending on if you want to do one this way and one that way. You're going to get a couple of them stamped on there. So that's going to be beautiful for your card. You could probably get even more on here. Like, I'm pretty generous with the paper. So if you wanted to even do 3 or 4, this guy could be holding all kinds of balloons. You could have like a little balloon fest on your card. All right, so I think we're done with Memento ink for this one. And then all we have left to stamp is our Petunia Pop sentiment. So I took the sentiment hooray for this one. And we're going to stamp this on this little textured notes die cut. Now, the die cut is right side up because that's usually the best way to do it. And this hooray is a little bit bigger or taller than the die cut. So if you scooch it kind of toward the top, you should be able to squeak it in. Now, the Y will cut off maybe a little bit, or the H may cut off a little bit, but you can get that in there, and our eyes fill in anything that's missing. Our eyes can figure out that that says hooray, even if a few of the letters are kind of off of the actual die cut. But I wanted to be able to use that hooray because I thought it was super cute. All right, coloring of the turtle. Now I did a little start ahead so that the class wouldn't be as tedious and, you know, color heavy. But here we go. So the first balloon I did in my Petunia Pop, light and dark, and then the other balloon right here I did in Bubble Bath, light and dark. So these colors look really super cute together. So I've already gotten those, little balloons finished. They're beautiful. And I started the turtle. Now when we die cut with the turtle, so awesome. There is a special hinged area on 2 of the turtle dies that actually pop his arm out. So hopefully you can see this. Like, his arm right here opens up while you're die cutting. So he's able to slide things underneath, and he can hold on to things, whether it's the balloons, the cake, the ice cream, all kinds of stuff, right? The signs. So that's what's really cool about these dies, is that you don't have to kind of try to get in here and fussy cut or trim away a section. Really love that. Now I started the turtle ahead with just, so far all I have on here is Bubble Bath. In case you're thinking, wait, I missed all of the things. I did the inside of his shell here, his body, in the light Bubble Bath, and I did his head and his arms and legs in dark Bubble Bath. But we're going to make him look like this. So he is going to get changed up a little bit, and we're going to start with a little bit of Petunia Pop. I'm going to change this up. So this is the light Petunia Pop. And I'm basically going to come in, and I'm going to kind of highlight the lines on his neck, even though he probably doesn't want me to focus on the lines on his neck. And then we're going to kind of come through, and we're going to underline or overgo the top of his shell. We're just adding a little bit of color, and I actually brought this right around his arm, kind of down this way. Gave him a little bit of definition here. And then I kind of did the same thing here on his arms. This arm actually got buried, so you can't even tell that I did that on that arm. We're going to fix his elbow here a little bit, give him some dimension there. And then I'm going to come down the front of his legs. Don't forget Turtle's toenails, because those are kind of important too, right? So we're just going to kind of add a little bit of color here. So you can see here, darker on top of the lighter. And then we're going to come back through with the light bubble bath. And we're just going to go over those lines a little bit. We're going to kind of squiggle over them in a circular motion. And that's going to kind of blur them together. And it gives you, it helps to, it's actually blending. That's why these are called blends. But it helps to make the lines fuzzy, so it doesn't look like there's a harsh start and stop. And you can go over these and over these and over these as many times as you want. It doesn't pill up your paper. It's why I love the blends, and really it makes your art look so fancy. So I'm just going to do kind of a rough squiggle here just for a couple seconds and see if I can get some of that blended in. Okay, we're going to call that good. You get the idea. You can continue at home if you need to. And then we're going to use the shaded spruce for the shell, because we're kind of keeping these shaded spruce colors from our card kit. So I'm going to use the dark, and I'm going to do his little spots here. And see if I can get these colored up real quick. It's not a ton of coloring on this one, which is just my speed. Turtly awesome. Okay, we're going to come back through now with the light shaded spruce, and we're just going to finish the shell. So he's got like that two-tone green going on here. To be honest, I may have colored everything in the light color and then just went back and did the dark colors over top. There's a little section right up here on this part of the shoulders, so you want to make sure you catch that when you're doing the shell. And there is our turtle. So how cute and sweet is that, right? Like really super easy. We've kind of blended it a little bit. I'm sure my original looks maybe a little bit nicer, but you get the idea. Now we're going to put his sign in his arm, because he's going to hold on to the sign. So we're going to just kind of fit this in here. We're going to see where it looks best, so you can see how cute that is, right? And we're actually going to glue this down a little bit. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here on the end, and I'm going to pick his arm back up again and put this in here. So the glue is catching the turtle's body right now. And you don't have to worry about super, don't go crazy about like, is the sign straight? Because you can turn your turtle, you can move your turtle easier than you can probably straighten up your sign. Now I'm going to throw a dimension on the back that's going to catch both of those papers, the turtle itself and part of this little label that has our sentiment. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on there. And while we're here, I'm going to see, do I want that right up? Oh my goodness, let's see. Let's get our turtle on here, then we'll worry about the balloons afterwards. Okay, so turtle's going down next. And I don't know if you guys do you guys like the pink turtle? Because obviously it's not traditional, but I wanted to start out with something that was like, where are we going with this class? Because we don't have to, turtles don't have to always be traditional colors, right? We can have them be fun. These are kind of fun turtles. All right, so I'm going to just figure out I'm having the balloons come down onto his arm this way. So I'm basically lining them up. Now, because these little sticks, again, look at the lollipops here, are skinny, I'm just basically going to kind of line them up where I want them to go. And then I'm going to actually not move them. I'm going to just lift them a little bit and stick some glue underneath here and here, and then pop these on top and call it good, right? So as long as they stay right there, I don't have to worry about gluing down these little balloon strings. So there's our little card all ready for some embellishments, and then we're good to go. Now, as mentioned at the very beginning, a part of the Turtly Cute Suite are these really awesome embellishments. And I'm going to use the darkest greens. These are kind of more of the shaded spruce. They're kind of rich gem tones here. I think they look really good with our card. Now you're getting two different sizes, so large and small. I'm going to put them on just like so. just like so. Oh, stuck to my little spatula. There we go. Cute, cute, turtly cute. Look at that. I feel like that's a really good birthday card for a young lady. Or it could be, you know, kindergarten graduation card. I know some of these things are beyond us, but I'm always looking through my stash when something comes up and looking for something besides a flower card and saying, hey, I really need that. All right, I'm going to check messages. Hi, Lori. Are you warm? It's warm everywhere right now for sure. Hi, Lynn. Good to have you on here. Hey, Jackie's here. Hi there. Oh my gosh, Sandra's super cute. She says, if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe to Julie's channel. Sandra is my favoriteest cheerleader. You're so awesome, Sandra. Thank you. Hi, Flo. Good to see you here too. I just want to see who's hanging out and if you guys are liking the pink turtle. All right, I promise you, not all the turtles will be really unusual colors tonight, but I wanted to start out by saying turtles do not have to be green, and I'm sticking with it. Now, I did add a little bit of green in, I'm not going to lie, but we're going to move on now to some other turtles that are also turtly awesome. Putting a couple things away here while we're getting ready for the next card. All right, let's move turtly awesome card number 1 out of the way. We're going to jump into something that may be a little bit more subdued, but it's also a great choice for your masculine cards. So we've got some blues and greens, very neutral colors here. This is card number 2, which may be more turtle paste, if you will. So you got all kinds of stuff in this one too. We're using a crumb cake base. We've got Mossy Meadow. We've got Basic Beige, and this is embossed. This is coming to you embossed, by the way. This is embossed with that turtle embossing folder that I showed you at the beginning of the class. Turtly Awesome. Nope, it's called Turtle Textures Embossing Folder. Okay, so this is coming to you embossed. And then you're going to get a die cut from Stylish Shapes for a little banner. You're getting some circles. Oh, I wanted to talk about circles. Okay, first of all, I love circles. Just get really excited about circles. This is the Timeless Plaid paper. You're getting a little bit of this, and I want you to know, ta-da, it's actually the same pattern, but we're using 2 different sides. We've got a green and a blue, or if you prefer, you've got a green and a blue. I love options like that, right? Okay, so let's talk about the punches really quickly, because this is why I'm so excited about circle punches. I love circle punches, by the way. Okay, if I didn't say that, I mean to say it more and more and more. This is a 2-inch circle punch. This is a 1 3/4 inch circle punch. Stampin' Up! Has had these around for a really long time. They retired them for a while. They went away. I never get rid of my circle punches. Actually, I don't really get rid of any punches. But anyway, lots of circle punches in Julie's craft room. Kept these, was really excited when Stampin' Up! Brought them back. So you can get these in the online store. These are sizes you can get right now. So we've got a Old Olive and we've got a Mossy Meadow. Okay. Just put those on there because I know the tops are shiny. Brand new punch. This is actually really shiny. 1 7/8 inch. This is a new punch in the catalog, and it is now in stock. So if you don't have this one yet, this is one you want to get. We're doing this one in cloud cover. Okay, so you're getting these circle punches in your kits, but I wanted to share with you that while you may already have 2-inch circle punch and 1 3/4 inch circle punch, you may not have 1 7/8 circle punch because it just came back in stock. It is actually in there along with it's a bundle in the catalog, and it's at the beginning of the book. This might be worth peeking at really quickly because it's a really sweet stamp set. Right here on page 36. So does it coordinate or is it a bundle? It does not. Okay, nope, sorry. It's not a bundle. I thought it was a bundle. The Encircled with Love is on page 36. It coordinates with the circle punch. I thought it was a bundle, but it's not. Okay, so don't worry about the bundle. You're good to go. Just get the circle punch or get the kit and you have some circles here to play with. All right, you may be wondering, where are we going with this card? So let's get going on here. Hi, Linda. Good to see you. All right, here is our card. And this one is much more traditional. It's also a really great masculine card. Again, whether you're using the turtle feature or not, this would be a great one to put a leaf or a tree in. You could probably use this with the more masculine different stamps and dies that you have. But we are going to use those cute little birdies. In this one, we have our next turtle. You can see, again, his arm lifts up right here. And we, again, got those little gems in here, this great gem pack. Is so good for so many. I mean, these are kind of like chameleon gems. When I first looked at these, I wasn't really sure if I liked the color palette here. I was like, yeah, I don't know. When I started using them and they kind of work with the paper, I actually fell in love with them a little bit. All right, we're going to get going here on this card kit. And this is a very ink heavy class, in case you're wondering. We're doing a lot of inking. Now this is basic beige cardstock. We're going to be using, oh, this is the one we're going to use lots and lots and lots and lots of inks. Let's talk about our inks. And this is a great palette too. Pecan, Pie, Daffodil Delight, Crumb Cake, Mossy Meadow, Cloud Cover, and Old Olive. You may be wondering how to get hold of Cloud Cover. This Cloud Cover was only available for demonstrators to purchase because there's a problem with the ink. You may be purchasing the ink pad and ink refill, I'm sorry, the ink spot and ink refill to use your Cloud Cover with, but I do have the pad, so I am going to be using it. And all of my friends that are in my In Color Club, I got you covered. All right, so moving on to our cardstock right here, Crumb Cake. So we're using Crumb Cake ink over top of the basic beige. So even though they're two different tones, I wanted more of the brown antique-y look on here than the basic beige. So if you've used the basic beige ink, you may know that it tends to leave a greenish casting color. And I'm okay with that because that's totally awesome with our turtle cards, right? But I wanted to have more of the kind of like the antiqued brown look here. So totally different, two different colors. I don't know if I have my basic beige sponge here. I actually do. Let me just show you real quick. This is the little blending brush that I use with basic beige. So you can see how green it looks. This is actually basic beige. Of course, this is Crumb Cake. It looks really dark, but you get the idea that it would have been really green if I had put green on. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. If you have basic beige at home and you're like, maybe I'm going to try basic beige on there, absolutely, that'll work too. All right, let me close this one up, and we're going to just kind of put together some of this card kit before we get inkier, if that's a word, because we are doing a lot of inking tonight. All right, so we've got a piece of Mossy Meadow here going on to our Crumb Cake base. And next we're going to layer on our sponged up piece of basic beige. Big difference between the cardstock and the sponged cardstock. It really gives it a different look. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to layer on our designer series paper. Just giving this a second to adhere because it's embossed, and sometimes those highs and low pieces on that cardstock just, it takes a minute for it to settle in. All right, so I'm going to use the blue designer series paper, which is cut to the wrong size. And we're going to do a quick trim on that. Apparently, I didn't get the memo of my notes. So, very quickly, we're going to cut this, and we're just going to chop that down real quick. Just a smidge. I believe we need a smidge off of each of these. That might do it. Let's see. Did I do it right? I did. Okay, good, good. We've got that fixed. Crisis averted. Okay, so back to this card. I'm going to do the blue at the top because I really like the blue. And I'm going to put the green down here. And I think it works really well this way only because our whole makeup, right? We're like just the top is blue because of the sky, right? It's kind of like from kindergarten. Pretend you're in kindergarten, right? When you colored papers, you always color the very top of your paper blue because that was the sky. And then at the very bottom, you would color something green because that was the grass. And you'd have a really big gap in between. Now, we don't have a huge gap in between here. We don't need that. You can see here, actually, even from this card to this card, my gap is a little bit bigger, but that's okay. Just wherever you're happy with that. All right, now the next thing we're going to play with is our circles. And, excuse me, these circles need some ink because I feel like they would be happier if they had some pretty ink on them. So we're going to be doing a little bit of sponging. This is Old Olive, so we're doing tone on tone circles. This should just take a second. You're going to grab your sponge dauber and go around. Let your circle kind of go in a circle. I usually hold my thumb and forefinger kind of on the back in the middle there. So we're just going to do a little bit of quick inking. We're going to bring in Mossy Meadow next, and we're going to do the same thing. Mossy Meadow. So there's a little bit of Mossy Meadow, and just what a difference the inks make when you add that onto the edges. And then this is going to be our cloud cover. Cloud cover is that nice bluish gray. I love this color so much. My favorite new ink color, I think. I go between this one and Secret Sea quite frequently. Okay, so those are your 3 inks there. And we're going to go ahead and put these on, and then we're going to do our turtle. We're going to talk about how we're going to do our turtle and our little birdies. And we're going to set those aside because they don't need to go too far. Now, when I set these on here, I didn't get too crazy. I just kind of picked you want it to be a little bit of a circle. You don't want it to be super symmetrical. We're not making a snowman. Okay, so like you can think about snow today if you want because it's hot. But we're going to kind of I started with the old olive here on the bottom. Let me show you. I started right about here. So it came off the bottom a little bit here. And then I grabbed the mossy. This is the smallest circle, 1 3/4, and I kind of came a little bit up here off to the side. And then I'm grabbing the brand new circle. This is 1 7/8, which is bigger than 1 3/4, but smaller than 2, in case you were wondering. And I'm going to put this one kind of over here, right? So we're creating kind of just a little tableau. Now you could put anything on this card if you want to. You could just add a sentiment here. That's how easy it could be to make this really fancy card. But we're going to go ahead and stamp our turtle. We're going to stamp our birds. And we're going to do this in pecan pie this time. Now this is basic beige cardstock. Got to find my turtle here. This guy right here, he's our turtle. So we're going to stamp him in pecan pie. So you can see how that turns out really nicely. You don't have to always use black, especially if you're not coloring with blends. I'm looking for birds. Here's our 2 little birdies. Now they are together on one stamp, really cute. And then when you die cut them, they actually come apart. Oh, let's do our sentiment here too, while we have our pecan pie out. We're going to call this one Sweet Friend. So I just have to find, I have to find my sweet friend. Okay, here we go. We're gonna stamp this kind of over to the right side. So there's our sweet friend. And then let's see, I inked that, but I didn't use pecan. Okay, looking to see what I did here because sometimes I make these cards and I forget what I did. Like I did a lot of things, but I forget. Let's see, I'm looking for, Julie says she likes the colors of this card. Julie, it's got the cloud cover in it. What's not to love, right? Yeah, these are really nice colors together. Cloud cover plays really sweetly with these greens. Like, they just look beautiful together. Fun fact, this designer series paper has boho blue in it, and boho blue retired. So I was really sad until I realized that cloud cover would work too. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna die cut out our turtle. So we've got this one right here. This is the bird die. So again, just like the stamp, these dies are together. So you're going to put them onto your cardstock that is stamped. And then when you're done cutting that out, we're going to get, this is what we're going to get. We're going to get our turtle and our 2 little birdies. So again, the 2 little birdies will be separate. So cute. Teeny tiny birdies. And here's our turtle. Again, he's got the little arm that comes up, right? So he's going to be able to tuck this sign underneath him as well. All right, so for these, for the coloring on this one, I went really, really simple. I actually grabbed the Stampin' Right markers. Now, the Stampin' Right markers are different from blends. The ink makeup is different. If you go over things too often, it will pill. Now, the cloud cover Stampin' Right marker is good to go. So if you really need some Stampin' Right markers, get the in color set, and you'll get all 5 of the new in colors, but you'll have a cloud cover marker to work with. So we're going to color our little birdies here with the cloud cover marker, just like that. And then for our turtle, we're actually going to do some brown and some green. So I'm using the bullet end here as well, and I'm just going to kind of accent his arms a little bit, similar to the last one. I'm just going to kind of run some edges around here and give him some definition in his legs. Nothing crazy, maybe a little bit here on the lines on his neck. And then I'm going to come back in with the green. And this is Old Olive, by the way. I'm sorry, this was Crumb Cake if I didn't mention that. So Old Olive, we're going to go ahead and color in the spots on his shell. This is kind of more of a minimal coloring We're not coloring like every inch of this little turtle, right? So he's got some green on him. And I'm going to come through and do like the lines. I'm going to kind of go over and under the lines that are on his belly there. We're going to do his little toenails, top and bottom. Just give him a quick little splash of color. You can add a little bit more green here if you want to. Kind of feel free to, like, wherever you think a little bit of green would look good. Okay, so just minimal. Like this is kind of more quick and easy. Like I need to make this card, I need to move. So you can see here where we're going with it. So he's already got a little bit of some good color to him. Now we're going to bring in, believe it or not, Daffodil Delight. You may be wondering, wait, what? Why are we putting yellow on here? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to kind of sponge in some yellow. Yep, yellow. We're going to kind of be a little bit heavier here too. We're going to kind of come in farther and give him tones of yellow. But it's all going to come together at the end, so don't worry. Like I think I worked it out. I think I did okay. Like you can judge. But if you're like, no way, no yellow, then don't do yellow. It's okay. But I know at first he looks really funny. He looks a little jaundiced. Like I'm not going to lie, Turtle needs some sun right now. But we're going to come back through again, and this time we're going to add in Old Olive. So the Old Olive is going to go over top of the yellow, and it's going to kind of change our yellow pattern into an interesting shade of green. So we're going to do the same thing here. Just kind of come through. Now some of the yellow you'll still see, but it'll kind of just, it helps him to be like he's just bright. He's a brighter turtle. So just go ahead and bring in some green here. Leave a little bit of yellow, but it's just that combination of the yellow and green here that just makes it a little bit different. And playing with ink is a lot of fun for me. So I do like to just kind of, so you can kind of see here how he looks totally different. He's got a nice little kind of almost natural turtle look to him. And if you wanted to add a little bit more kind of green across, you know, if you feel like he needs a little bit more, definitely do it up. But that's it. Turtle Man is done. He is beautiful and ready to go. We're going to pop him onto our card. We're going to add some dimensionals, just like on our first one. Now don't cover up his arm that's going to hold the sign, so wait on that. But we are going to bring in dimensional, I know it's kind of dimensional on Sweet Friend side. I had to look at that for a second just to remember how I did this. Okay, so Sweet Friend, because it's going to come in just like this. Okay, so he's got the Sweet Friend there. Okay, we're going to just bring this in here and get the backings off of here. I didn't know that was going to be the hardest thing we did in class today was get backings off of dimensionals. Like there are days, right? There are days they just pop off, and then there's days that I struggle. But here we go. I think I got them all. We're going to flip this over. We're going to bring this over here and kind of pop him on here. He's so cute, right? His sign might be a little bit crooked, but he's okay with that too. All right, and then for these little birdies are sweet. We're going to put the standing up birdie is going to come right up here, kind of under the sign a little bit, like he's hanging out on the sign. He's a nice little birdie right there. And then this little birdie over here, I don't know if you can see him, but he's kind of like, he's facing off the circle, like he's looking for something. And I think that's the cutest of the two birds. Like that's my favorite bird. The one that's kind of like not paying attention and kind of out in left field here. This is my favorite birdie. So we're going to put him over here on the ground, and he's going to be looking that way. So there we go. Is this cute or what? Now, this would be a really great masculine card. This could say happy birthday on it as well. This could be a great masculine birthday card. And for these beautiful gems that I used, because this has more neutral colors, I went with this row right here, which looks a lot brighter until you put it onto the paper. And once you put it onto the paper here, it picks up those darker colors. I don't know what it is about these gems, but they are way nicer than I thought they were going to be. They have surprised me in a good way, that I do love them. Okay, so there it is, our Sweet Friend card. Some nice neutral colors. Really awesome. Turtly awesome. I put a little more green on this guy, I think. This guy's a little bit more yellow. He just needs a little more sunshine. Get that yellow out of him. There we go. All right, card number 2. Hope you guys are loving this. And Jackie says she does like the blues and greens together. I do too. Hi, Judy Cook. It's good to see you on here. Home from Bible study. Yeah, catch the one live tomorrow, or catch the replay tomorrow, Judy. That's awesome. Hope you guys are all staying cool. Okay, we're on to card number 3 already. Card number 3 is a little bit of a fun fold card, as mentioned. So we're going to do this one next. And this one is really pretty easy and also kind of fun. Now this one probably will come to you scored because I do have to chop a little bit of the front off, and we're also doing a little bit of the inside on this one, which we normally don't do. Normally I don't do anything with inserts, but this one, because of the way it's all going to go down, we're gonna change the rules for this one. So this is the side of the paper, which is definitely not going to be used tonight. I am not using any of those big bold turtle patterns. I'm actually using this one. It's going to go right here on the front of the card base. And you're also getting a little piece of designer series paper from Floral Delight. I just can't stop using the yellows. I don't know why. All right, you're getting party banner dies. Have you guys seen the party banner dies yet? Like holy huge dies. I just got to show these off again in case you haven't seen these yet. They're ginormous. I'm using 2, and I'm going to point out that I'm not using 2 that nest right in a row, in case you're trying to figure out how I'm doing this at home. I'm using 1, and then I skipped a size, and I'm using the next one after that, because it just works really well for this card. So you're getting a couple of party banner dies, and if you're making the card the way that I'm doing the card, like fun fold style, you're going to need to score the yellow banner at home at you're going to score the straight side right here at 1/2 inch. So it's really important to find 1/2 inch. Nope, let's make that 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch, not 1/2 inch. 1/4 inch, and scoring means the light blade on this trimmer. I'm saying that out loud so I don't do it wrong. So you're really only scoring the tiniest little bit right here, 1/4 inch backwards. You're going to bend it backwards. And you're also going to need to burnish this really nicely too. So you're going to burnish that, right? So it's nice and crisp. The fold is in the back. And then you're going to take this white insert. This is part of your card kit. And you're going to put this on here about like the middle, right? Basically the middle. So if I flip it over here, you're going to see that this is the back side where we made that little crease and we burnished it. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive here. Don't go too heavy. It squishes out, believe me. Ask me how I know. And I'm not really a heavy person with the glue, but I seem to have managed that earlier today. All right, when I was putting this together. So there we go. So this is on the back side, just like this, but do not glue the front. This has to be a flap. It's going to look like this, right? So we're creating a flap. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to adhere this into our card base. So you can put a little bit of glue on there too if you want to, or your whatever adhesive you're using, right? So just go ahead and do that. And we're going to put this onto the inside of our card base. Remember this whole yellow flap, this whole banner die is not glued down, okay? Just like this. So there we go. How cute is this so far? Actually, I'm gonna make you wait on the front for just a second. We're gonna do the inside. Again, something I don't normally do. So for me, when I can, it's kind of an extra challenge that I give myself. Like, what else can I do with this? I'm just gonna put this paper right here kind of for placement. This is gonna go there, but getting an idea of where I want that to be. And I'm going to bring in the memento and my flower image. And I'm going to decide like about where I want these to go. So I'm just going to stamp some flowers across here. Some might be a little taller than other ones. They don't have to be like straight in a row. Don't stress over it. And we'll do that many. I could probably squeeze in another one if I'd moved some over, but you get the idea. We're going to come in and we're going to color these with Daffodil Delight blends. I'm going to do the light for the outer petals, basically, of the flower. And if I get some of the inside in yellow, it's okay, because I'm going to come back through with the dark yellow blend, and I'm going to get the centers. These are just yellow flowers. There's nothing fancy here. We're doing a lot of yellow here on the inside. This is perfect for a turtle card, right? Right? Isn't yellow the best color for a turtle card? I think it's kind of fun. All right, so we're going to do centers here in the dark yellow. So you got your light and dark blends. Beautiful. Really cute. Like, look how adorable that is. This is way better than the first one I did because I smudged black ink. I'm going to show you when I grab out the card. You haven't seen the card yet, but I'm going to show you that I smudged black ink. And I'm actually going to kind of highlight the stem here, even though it's just a straight black line. I just felt like it needed a little bit of green, and the blend is way thicker than the green line, but it works. Okay, now this one right here, we're actually going to put our inside sentiment on. I forgot what I wrote. Let me see. I gotta look at my, I'm cheating over here. I gotta look to see what did I put on the inside. Okay, it's gonna say here for you always. And it's right here. Okay, so on this piece of daffodil, pretty yellow designer series paper, we got some Memento ink. And we're gonna go ahead and stamp up here for you always. Just like that. Hopefully it works. It did. There we go. All right, we set that aside, and we're going to finish the inside of this card. I hope you're enjoying this, like, it's kind of little peek at a fun fold. Now we're going to cover up some of the bottom here of the flowers, but not everything, right? We don't want to cover up. We still want to see that there's green leaves and there's stems, and then you can kind of push it up to wherever you think it's going to work nicely. Just like that. And remember, our flap is going to, this is going to close and our flap is going to close. So you can't, it's like a surprise inside, like secret surprise, right? Because when you open it, you're going to be able to see this cute little layout just like that. Totally loving this actually, by the way. All right, now we have this white banner. This is part of your kit, and this is going to fit right here on your card. So again, if you're not doing turtles, you can do whatever you want on this one too. We are actually doing turtles for this card. So let's bring in this is my favorite turtle right here. The one that's like hanging out on his back like he's floating along in the pool, having a good old time. We're going to stamp him a memento. But before we do that, I'm going to actually show you the card. So we are going to be able to put this turtle right here on the white banner. We don't have to die cut it, even though there is a die. So if you wanted to, you could die cut it on another paper and then pop this turtle up. But I'm just putting him very simply. We're going to stamp him on here. We're going to put our sentiment on there. And look at how cute this card is. So it's got that flap that tucked behind with that simple little score line. So let's finish our little turtle card here, our little turtle man. This one, again, this is the cute, I think this is the cutest one right here. So we're going to go ahead and pop him kind of into the corner. He fits here really nicely at a little bit of a jaunty angle. And we're going to go ahead and bring in our sentiment that says it's okay to take it slow. Here it is right here. It's okay to take it slow. We're going to ink this up in Memento 2, and we're just going to, I love when you can just put your focal point and your sentiment on one thing, and now all we have to do is color. So this guy I colored in very traditional colors. I've got the daffodil, and I've got, no, yes, I'm looking at this. This doesn't look like it's daffodil to me. What color did I use if I didn't use daffodil? I'm looking around my craft room because I have blends and things everywhere. I don't know why that looks so dark. I'm pretty sure this is what I use. We're gonna go with it. All right, you know what? I think I use the dark. I only use the dark daffodil. That's why it's looking so confusing to me. Okay, light bulb, here we go. So the whole little belly here is in dark daffodil delight, and it did look almost crushed curry-ish looking, like a darker yellow. But I don't believe that there is a crushed curry blend. That's where my confusion was. I feel like there should be a blend for every color, and there really isn't. We're missing a couple of crucial colors like garden green. How can there not be garden green blend? Okay, so there it is, and that's exactly what I did. And then I just kind of went back through and I did his lines. I did some lines and kind of darkened down a few spots. Okay, that part's done. Moving on from the yellow, we're gonna do, nope, this would be lemon lime twist. This is lemon lime twist. Okay, I'm remembering. This is all coming back to me now. So this is kind of a brighter green, the lemon lime, right? This is the dark, I believe. Yes, it is. Dark lemon lime. Okay, so we're gonna do his head. We're gonna do his arms. And if you go over his fingernails a little bit, that's okay, because we're gonna come back in with a darker color. But don't pop into his shell. Only the turtle can pop into his shell. You do not need to pop into a shell with other colors. Okay, so we're just doing that beautiful coloring here. And we're going to come right down through, get his legs, and that part is done. And again, if you wanted to add extra shading, just go over, if you just go over it with the same blend, you're actually kind of deepening down just sections of it. Just do a little bit like this. And then some of it is a little bit lighter, which is nice. Okay, on to the shell, please. We've got dark old olive, and I did his little toenails and such in this color. He's only got one over here. And then his fingers, we do his fingernails. And we're gonna do his little spots in the dark old olive. So it's really fun to mix and match. Any greens that you have will work really nicely. And it's nice that you don't have to be very consistent about like which greens. Now, I wouldn't use shaded spruce on this one. We used that on the first card because we had shaded spruce in our designer series paper. This is more of brighter green colors. There's a lot of yellow in this card. Don't forget this little section right over here on the back side of his shell. This is the light old olive, and we're just going to fill in the rest of his shell here, going around his little darker colored spots. And then our turtle is done. So not a ton of coloring, which is, again, kind of my speed. And there we go. He's beautiful and ready to go. So we're just going to glue this on flat. Now, if you wanted to add some dimensionals, you could. But we're just going to put this on here. Not on this card. That one's already finished. So you can see here that it's nice to have the smaller size banner. So we didn't use 2 in a row. We used a banner. We skipped a banner, and then we used another banner when we did our party banner dies. Because those party banner dies, they're tight nested dies, but I wanted to see more yellow here. And this imagery wasn't so huge that it needed more space, right? I didn't want to have too much white space on it. Now for this one, how cool is this? I love these. In case you're just tuning in, Julie loves these embellishments. Okay, so this one I used this really light color. It's almost like soft sea foam, but it worked really well on this card because they're more white-ish, and they look really nice on the white. And there we go. Look at that. We're just going to get 3 of those on there. These are so cool. So what do you guys think of the fun fold here, right? How cute is this card? Now, I don't have anything that holds it down over here. It really doesn't need to be secured. It's not like super flappy, like it's going to like fly open. But there it is, just like that. I just thought that was a really cute card, and I hope you guys are enjoying this class too. Let's see, Julie says tiger. Oh, were you thinking maybe I used tiger, timid tiger on you could technically use timid tiger. It's kind of more of an orange color, but that is actually dark daffodil for that one. So cute. All right, we're going to jump into our final card tonight. Here we go. Oh, Jackie said she wasn't sold on this set, but she's seen some cute cards. Jackie, I'm going to agree with you 100% because when I first saw it, I did see it at convention in March. They did, Stampin' Up! Did a huge thing with the Totally Turtle. It was totally awesome. I wasn't sure either myself. I wasn't really sold on it. And I only got it recently, and it's probably because of the suite sale, because I was able to get the whole suite at half price. And I have seen some really cute cards with it too, for sure. And playing with it has been fun. I think the most fun thing for me really is the fact that you can lift up this little turtle, his flap parts, and I'm going to show you this card because we're talking about the cards. But I love that his arm lifts up and that you can do him in so many different ways. Now this one you're going to see here, we're using old olive cardstock, and we're going to heat emboss him in black. So this one has even less coloring on it, in case you're not a fan of coloring. So we've used the turtle in quite a few different ways tonight, but we're going to put this card together, and this one's got some embossing on it, heat embossing. Hope your birthday is totally awesome. So we're going to make a birthday card on this last one. So we're starting out with a Pretty Peacock card base, and I gotta find my little scrap paper here because we are going to let me move some inks out of the way. That's what we're going to do first. I got a lot of inks. This card has let's make this Pretty Peacock ink. We have a little bit of Memento. I'm going to talk about why we have Memento for this one. We also have Versamark with white and black embossing powder. We have a whole bunch of blends. There's lots of stuff going on here. But we're going to start with the card base, and we're going to totally change this card base from a really boring, I mean, this is a pretty color, Pretty Peacock color, to like this really jazzy, bold card base. Okay, so we're gonna start with our, not the ice cream, no, we're gonna start with our party hats. Everybody put on your party hat. Here we go. All right, so on this one, I'm gonna take the party hats and my pretty peacock ink, and I'm gonna just bring the party hats up from the bottom onto the card base itself. So I'm not doing the full image, hopefully you can see that, but the little fluffy parts of the top of the hat are facing up. Now I'm going to rotate my card base because it's easier for me to do it this way. I'm going to do the same thing. So the top party hats are coming down. Okay, so those are coming down. So as I turn my card back open, like this is where it opens, the hats are coming into the card base itself. I'm going to turn to do the side one, same thing. We're just going to stamp this along the edges here in a random pattern, right? So it doesn't have to be like exactly even. And then we're going to come back here and do the same thing on this side. So some can be up higher, some can be lower, put some sideways, put some straight. Just make sure you get your party hats on. That one actually went in a little bit farther than anticipated, but it's okay. All right, so now that we've got our party hats on, we're actually going to come in with a dauber, and we're going to darken this down. So hopefully you can see kind of the steps here on how we're doing this. So we're going to bring in our pretty peacock ink and just a really quick layer of ink along all of the edges here. And this isn't something I do all the time, but I do randomly do this. And actually, one of my stampers, who may be online with me hanging out tonight, recently did this at my in-person class, and I was like, oh yeah! Like, there are so many things we do in card making, and sometimes we forget all the different things that you can do. So she was going along and she's like, I need to sponge the edge of my whole entire card front. And I'm like, I remember doing that, and I love it. I mean, it's been a while, right? So if you haven't seen me do this ever before, it's been a while. So there we go. We have darkened down our card base. We made that really rich and pretty, and I love it. So I think I posted last week that you guys inspire me too. I hope I'm inspiring you, but you guys inspire me, and that is the best. So thank you for sharing all of your ideas with me too. All right, so this is Lemon Lolly, and this is bright, right? This Lemon Lolly, I feel like the turtle cards need a little bit of yellow and green in them. So we're going to put this across here, kind of in the middle. It's going to fit the entire width of your card base. The extra ink on the side is optional. You don't need to do that, but I did. It's okay. It's going to be okay. All right, maybe I should dip my fingers back in my my chamois again here. This is a very inky class. I have very inky fingers today. All right, let's try to not ink up all of these parts and pieces, but you're getting basic black, you're getting white cardstock, and you're getting some designer series paper. These are all going to layer and mat together. I love to add lots of layers and mats. Again, if you wanted to, just kind of maybe make a really simple turtle card, add a sentiment on, you've got some cute paper, you could do that. I do love the stripes though. So we're going to keep the stripes going here because we're going to do our own turtly awesome thing. And we don't need to use that other paper. All right, this one's going to go on with some dimensionals. And I did bring out a new sheet, but wondering if I have any black dimensionals that I could use other than the edges. Those are going to take forever to put on. Now, maybe we'll do a little bit of this. All right, so in case you didn't know, dimensionals also come in black, which is really nice when you're working with a black, some black cardstock, right? And you don't want the dimensionals necessarily to show. So I'm going to kind of push these along to the outside edges, and then if I don't have enough, I can put some regular white ones in the middle because nobody's going to see the middle. Oh, I think I'm going to make this work though. So you can see here, this one actually came off already. So these are black dimensionals. I recommend them. I like to have all of the things in my craft room, and that way when I'm ready to like do something, I'm not going to myself, oh, I wish I had those. That'd be handy right about now. All right, so this is going to come down here right in the middle. And we are still able to see our beautiful hat stamping along the edges, right? And it just really makes this, this is bright and pretty. I don't know, it makes me pretty. It makes me pretty. It makes me happy. This is bright and happy. All right, we're going to come through and we're going to glue together Nested Essentials dies. These are two kind of rounded rectangles that are coming to you. And we're just going to put these on. I put these on with dimensionals too. Well, you saw me, I used up the black ones, so I'm going to just have to go with the white ones for right now. And I guess that's okay too. Like, in a pinch. Does it matter what color they are? No, it's okay. Okay, so now this time we're going to do those dimensionals on there. And this little rectangle is going to come over here, just like so. So you can see here are the bones of your card kit. Now again, if you had something else at home, you're not doing turtles, you could definitely change that up. We have a few little pieces left. This is what we've got left on your kit. So you're going to actually heat emboss this. So you would ink this up with your Versamark and heat emboss it with the black embossing powder. I'm going to skip those steps tonight because we're running a little bit late. But this is the turtle, and of course he has his little die cut there, his little cut arm. So this is heat embossed with black embossing powder. That's on that piece right there. On this piece, you're going to be stamping the cake and the ice cream. Oh, cake, come out. Cake, come out. The cake is shy tonight. So you're going to stamp the cake and you're going to stamp the ice cream. I stamp these in Memento ink, and I'm going to tell you why, because I can find them. Maybe I can't find them now. I actually have a sample somewhere in my craft room, currently hidden by something. Oh, the ribbon. The ribbon was hiding it. I tried heat embossing these because I wanted them to be shiny. Now, yes, they are absolutely shiny, which is fantastic. However, when I started coloring these with the stamping blends, and I don't say it's not ink, but the embossed sections on the pink cake was bleeding black, which looked a little bit purple, which is not bad, but it wasn't a true color as if when you do the Memento. So this has a lot more black in it. And I colored the cake in Bubble Bath. I did the candles in Lemon Lolly. I did the cake base in Crumb Cake. And then for the ice cream cone, I did the cone in Pecan Pie Blend. I did the ice cream in, let's see here, oh, no, Lemon Lolly. Same color as the candle, flame. And I used Peach Pie. So we're going to stick with those two images. So that was interesting to me. I don't think I've ever run into that before, where I tried to heat emboss something and then it didn't color nicely. The last thing we have for this kit though is the sentiment, and I do need to heat emboss it because I didn't do one ahead. So we are going to do a little heat embossing, recommending the Emboss Buddy first. Get the static and such off. We're going to do this real quick, and then we're going to finish up we're going to touch up our turtle now. Our turtle's really easy to do because there's very minimal coloring on him. So he's kind of my favorite way to do the turtle, right? Because it's just quick and easy. But you do have to heat emboss for this one. And I'm using the sentiment, hope your birthday's turtly awesome. So here we go. Here is our sentiment. I'm going to put the Versamark right onto my stamped, it's facing up, and we're going to go right over here. Do I want to? Yeah, I'm going to be trimming the angle, cutting the ends. So I'm going to go right in the middle and powder this up. Now I did use black powder on the turtle for this card, and I'm also using white powder on the sentiment. And you might be thinking, wow, that's like a lot of investment in the powder. Like I got to buy 2 different powders. And that's a lot, but here's the good news. The good news is when they sell the powders, they actually sell a 3-pack. You're getting black, white, and clear. So you actually have, if you're purchasing one, you're getting more than just one color. So that's like a plus, right? So I thought it'd be okay to use them on the same card. All right, so I love the look of black cardstock with white powder because it's like chalkboard. All right, there we go. And the chalkboard reminds me of, kind of like school age kids. And I feel like the turtle card also, really good for kids. Kids that are adult kids and kids that are kids, right? I'm angle cutting the ends of my sentiment. Hope your birthday is totally awesome. And now we're going to finish our little turtle man because he needs just a tiny little bit of color. And I'm going to do that with the dark mossy meadow Stampin' Blend. And that's it. All he's getting is a little bit. Now again, this is embossed, so the edges are a little bit higher, so it makes it just slightly easier to color. I'm just doing his spots. I'm doing his finger and toenails, giving him a little bit of edging on his elbow. I'm going to kind of accent his stripies on his belly. I'm not doing it really well, but it's okay. Kind of do a little bit on his arm, and then we're going to kind of come down his legs here a little bit, and then catch his toenails and his knees, and that's about it. That's all he needs, just that little bit of extra on him. You can see here my original here, just very minimal. So we're using the cardstock color to really focus on the turtle itself. And of course, if you wanted this to be different colors, you sure can do that too. Now this guy I just glued down. I did not put him on dimensionals. We already have quite a few dimensionals on here. So when you put him down, make sure you don't glue his arm down. That needs to pop forward. So keep that one up. We're going to tuck him over here onto the corner of the card, just like so. He is going to be holding our cake, because why not? Now, if you wanted to, like, again, this is like a dress-up set where he could be wearing a party hat. He could be wearing the chef apron that tucks underneath of his arm too, his little apron. We're tucking the ice cream cone in here on this guy. So he's getting his ice cream he's holding that with this hand right here. Okay, and then this is going to come on here just like so, and it's going to come across. Now I am going to use one dimensional on the edge over here where it falls off into this area. I was kind of hoping if I did it up high enough, I might actually cover up my blue smudgy ink. That was like my goal here. I think it's going to work. So you can see that there's really great workarounds when you make little boo-boos while you're doing your crafting, right? Like maybe you can color it with something else. Maybe you can add an embellishment. Maybe you can cover it, which is what I did here. Super turtly awesomeness. All right, the last thing we need is the bling. So again, we're going to use another color of this bling. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 colors, and I think I used one on each card. This one I went with kind of this this lighter teal color. I thought it would work really good with our Lost Lagoon. No, this isn't Lost Lagoon. This is Pretty Peacock. So I'm going to put, I use this one and this one here, and then I just put an extra one like up here because I wasn't really sure where to put it. Sometimes I get confused. But these are totally awesome embellishments. Again, they look like they're sequins, but they're not. They're actually like little gems, which is awesome in a turtle way. All right, there we go. Here's our card. So we did the card with the turtle that is heat embossed in Old Olive with very minimal coloring. Sandra loves these cards. That's so cute. I haven't seen all your comments yet. This is your fun fold, your fun flap card, right? That had really cute inside as well. So there we go. We got that guy. And this one we didn't do any die cutting. He was probably the easiest one for sure. We've got this one. These two turtles are the same turtle. You can see here. We've got the more neutral colors, and then we've got a really cute, who doesn't love a pink turtle, right? I can think of some girls that might like a pink turtle on there. All right, so there we go. There are the turtle cards for the class. And I would love to know which one is your favorite. Like which of these cards would you want to make first? Probably this one or this one. Maybe this one. No, probably the pink one. I'm going to go back to that one. I think that's going to be like one of the fan favorites of tonight's class. All right, so let me flip my camera back over just so you know that I'm still here hanging out with you. And that is our Turtly Awesome class. I hope you guys enjoyed the play with the turtles. They are definitely something that's different. It's not everyone's cup of tea for sure. But if you're looking for something different to add to your collection, these are really great cards when you need something that's not a flower card and not a masculine card. Would work for teenagers, would work for young adults, would work for something if you need something funny. And sometimes we just need more funny in our lives. So I know that this is kind of similar to the dinosaurs, where the dinosaurs are just kind of cute and quirky and funny. And Stampin' Up! Is really good at giving us those sets So I know you're going to see lots of great examples with the Totally Awesome bundle out there. I mean, there's lots of great samples. A lot of them, again, have the designer series paper. And you guys are going yellow fun fold. Tammy likes it too. I thought you might like that one. And it's so easy. You can use that same fun fold idea for any kind of card. But as I was saying, a lot of the samples are going to use the designer series paper, which is totally awesome too. Use the paper up if you want to, but while you have the bundle, make sure you know how to use the stamps and create something really cute with them, because those stamps and dies are going to way outlast all of your paper. You're going to use up your paper, and then you're going to need to use the stamps and dies anyway. So thank you guys for joining me for this class. I really appreciate your time. If you could comment if you've watched this without commenting, or like and share on it, that would really help me out. I appreciate all your support. If you're interested in getting this class in the mail, just place an order with me in my online store this week. Don't forget, this is the last week for the sweet sale. So you've got the sweet sale going on. There's still some really good clearance items. So get those items in, get a free card class. You can make turtle cards, or you can make non-turtle cards. I feel like the card kit itself has enough value in it that you could totally change the theme and create something that's not even totally awesome, right? It'll just be awesome in a different way. All right, thank you. I will read through your comments and check them all out. You guys stay cool. It's going to be a warm one for sure this week. I will be back next Monday with another card class. And until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye, friends.